I started writing just what I'd say if we were face to face. I'd tell you just what you mean to me. Tell you the simple truth. Sing it out, church, come on. Be strong in the Lord, never give up hope. You're gonna do great things, I already know. God's got his hand on you, so don't live life in fear. Forgive and forget, don't forget why you're here. Take your time and pray.
That's right.
In Chicago, his love is gonna find a way. It's like nothing. Text the SWP family, all right? Text that to 64646, and you're going to be entered to win a chance to get this guitar right here from my boy Big Dan, all right? We're going to give that away at the end of the tour. You also become a part of the Great Big Family. I love my dad, my uncle, my cousin. They're all here in this place. But my favorite member of the Great Big Family is my beautiful wife of 7 months and 2 days. She's from Joliet, Illinois. Her name is Harmony. She's at our merchandise table. We gotta go give her a high five tonight. But the most important member of the Great Big Family is you, and you, and you, and every single person in this place. Y'all allow us to take the gospel of Jesus Christ with us wherever we go. And the Bible says how great is the Father's love, that he should lavish it upon us, that we should be called children of God. That's what we are. Maybe you came in here tonight and you felt rejected. Maybe you felt unwelcome. I'm telling you this. You are welcome in this place. You're surrounded by family. And you're welcome here because of one reason. Jesus Christ is in this place. Believe it tonight. We all start on the outside looking in. This is where grace begins. We were hungry and we were thirsty, with nothing left to give, of the shape that we were in. And just when all hope seemed lost, love opened the door for us. He said, come to the table. Come join the sinners who have been redeemed, and take your place beside the Savior. Sit down and be set free. Come to the table. Come meet this mighty crew of misfits, these liars and these thieves. There's no one unwelcome here. That sin and shame you brought with you, leave it at the door, and let mercy draw you near. Come to the table. Come join the sinners who have been redeemed. Take your place beside the Savior. Sit down and be set free. Come to the table. Come to the table. To the thief and to the doubter, to the hero and the coward, to the prisoner and the soldier, to the young and to the older, all who hunger, all who thirst, all the last, all the first, all the paupers and the princes, all who failed, you've been forgiven, all who dream, all who suffer, all who loved and lost another, all the chained and all the free, all who follow, all who lead, anyone who's been let down, all the lost who have been found, all who labeled right or wrong, everyone who
I've tried to find the right words to describe what I saw in Africa. And I think human tragedy is the best thing I can come up with. I've had so many opportunities to see quite a bit around the world. So I really thought I was prepared to see what was waiting for me in Nairobi. Nothing could have prepared me in advance for what I saw. This is some of the most difficult living conditions I've ever seen in my life. I saw people and animals living in trash. And that's not a figure of speech either. And the sewage system is actually a channel of putrid water that runs down the streets where these people live. There's basically hundreds of thousands of people that live in this area. There's no running water, there's no sewage, so the rivers become the sewage system. These are human beings. These are God creations, living like animals. These kids sang to us, we went to one of these schools, and these kids sang to us this song. They sang the song that they were fearfully and wonderfully made. And they are.
I remember the first time I got to see this when we were going to visit some kids that we helped sponsor, and I was so excited to go see these kids and just see the difference between what little bit that we could help them out with, what the difference was between the sponsored kids and the non-sponsored kids. I was so excited. We got to the airport and we got in this this old white nasty van, and there were a ton of us in there, and I wanted to sit by the window because I wanted to see the countryside, and there wasn't a seat by the window, so I grabbed a crate and I put it right there, and I sat on this crate, and I had my window seat, and I was excited. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's go. And so as we drove away from the airport, it took about 4 minutes for the conditions to completely deteriorate to what you guys just saw in the video. And it was stuff that I had never seen before. And I've been to a bunch of countries, and I've never seen anything like this. And as we're creeping along, as the road was no longer paved, and there were potholes everywhere, and there was traffic, and we were just creeping along through the city, and I see these huge canals that at one time were probably filled with rushing water, and now they're just reduced to this 2-inch trickle of water by the time they get down to where we are, because there's so much trash piled up, just garbage everywhere. And I look and I see a woman up there, and she's kind of clearing some garbage away and moving stuff out of the way, trying to sit down and trying to wash some clothes in this nasty stream of water. And up the stream from her, I see a guy using the restroom in that same trickle of water. And I'm kind of trying to process all this, and I look closer to our van, and there's a bunch of little kids kind of walking around and picking through the trash, and I see a little girl about the age of my Jack, and she kneels down, and she takes a drink out of this stream of water, this trash water. And I was like, no. I started freaking out. I'm like, no. I've got a bottle of water in my backpack right back here. Stop. But it was not just her. It was more and more kids were just digging through and trying to find, I don't know if they're trying to find food, if they're trying to find something to snack on, if they were taking drinks of this disgusting stream of water. And I was just like, what is happening? And I looked closer, and I finally started to see their faces as they looked up and they watched our van as we drove through, and they stared at us. And as they stared at us, I saw a look on their faces I've never seen before in my life. I've never seen this ever in my life until that moment, and I'll never forget it. It was just nothing. Nothing on their faces. It was just blank. It was emotionless. There was no love. There was no hope. There was no joy. They didn't even look like kids. It was just nothing. And it was child after child as we crept through and they stared at us as we drove by. Just nothing. And it broke my heart till I had to turn away from the window. I couldn't even look out the window anymore. I had to turn away and look down the whole rest of the way through the city because I couldn't look at these kids anymore. And as we finally got to the village where our kids that we helped sponsor were, we could barely get out of the van because they were running at us with arms spread wide, smiling from ear to ear, and laughing, and they jumped up on us and they said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." They gave us hugs, and I'm crying all over these kids. I'm just weeping uncontrollably on these kids. They're like, "Why are you crying on us?" I'm like, "I don't know, I love you, I'm sorry." And I was just completely overwhelmed. I couldn't believe the difference between these kids at this village that we helped with just a little bit of the excess that we have. But it was obvious that their basic needs were met. They had clean water, they had food, they had shelter, they had clothing. They had those things. But they had more than that. They had love, and they had hope, and they knew who Jesus was, and they looked completely different. Night and day, death to life from those kids on the street. And the hope on those kids' faces changed my life. It changed me 100% as a person. It's why I'm here today. It's why I'm still out on the road away from my family. It's because I believe in this so much. I believe in that hope that those kids have. I want to catch up with Duncan on the second half of this video.
With every problem comes the opportunity for a solution. And that's why I'm so excited about this part. I wanted to find out exactly how Child Fund uses these dollars we give them and how the families will benefit from it. There is a fantastic plan here that you can be a part of. Child Fund has built the entire program for these communities to focus on a few specific areas. First, there's nutrition. Having good, proper nutrition every single day is essential to the children and their development as they learn and how they grow. Then, there's health and clean water. Children receive the essential medical care they need, and with that, the very foundation of good health, which is clean water.
This tank right here may not look much to you, but this is a Child Fund water tank. It's 1,000 litres of clean, fresh water that's in one of the schools here that Child Fund sponsors.
Then it gets even better. We all know that history can repeat itself, so it's the reason why we put so much emphasis on education. Teaching these children to read, write, basic skills in school, and helping them to acquire knowledge is so important to help them have the chance at a better life.